This week on Rappler. Rappler looks at the enduring story of Juan Ponce Enrile, including his recent surge in popularity. Fugitive ex-Palawan Governor Joel Reyes sends an audio message to his supporters saying he is innocent. How many stars can you fit in a picture? Researchers released the latest picture of our very own Milky Way galaxy. Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network, where stories inspire community engagement and digitally fueled actions for social change. We at Rappler promise uncompromised journalism that hopefully inspires smart conversations and ignites a thirst for change. Once associated with the most unpopular Philippine presidents, Juan Ponce Enrile now enjoys high trust and approval ratings as head of the impeachment court. Rappler's Ayi Makaraig takes a look at Enrile's enduring story.
A figure in the world-famous EDSA revolution, a lawyer with decades of experience, and a politician known across generations.
Gusto ko happy ka.
Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile is no stranger to history. Now he is again front and center as he presides over the first impeachment trial of a Philippine Chief Justice. Called a trial superstar, Enrile earns praise for his brilliance. At 88, the Cagayan native shames younger lawyers with his wit and energy. The chair cites laws from memory and speaks legal Latin like his mother tongue.
Ignorancia lehis, neminem excusa.
A stickler for rules and due process, Enrile is a no-nonsense presiding officer.
What are you trying to ask the
Our request, Your Honor, is for the Honorable Tribunal to be liberal in our, let's say, in the asking of questions by the prosecution, so that the truth would really come out. So that's all.
Just a minute. Let's just clarify this. Are you suggesting that we should not we should allow misleading questions?
We are not. We are not,
Right.
Your Honors.
Are you suggesting that we should allow hearsay evidence?
I'll submit to the wisdom of this honorable tribunal, Your Honors.
Yet Manong Johnny also has a sense of humor.
Your Honors, may we just ask what's the source of the material just read by...
This is the product of my own mind.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
But like his political loyalties, it's hard to read where Enrile stands. The Senate President is liberal on some days. A key decision is the Senate ruling to summon and admit Chief Justice Renato Corona's bank records based on a prosecution document disputed to be either fake or leaked. But Enrile also rejects a prosecution witness from the Philippine Airlines, causing the panel to drop other charges under Article 3.
Technicalities cannot be permitted to prevail in such an important proceeding.
This is
such
not
as,
a technique, for heaven's sake,
impeachment
this is not a technicality. You're offering a stranger in paradise to prove an allegation that does not exist in Article 3. That's why I consider this a trust.
Enrile also seems to change his tune on the nature of the trial. At the onset, he says the trial is closer to a criminal case than a civil one. But weeks later, he loosens up.
We are not trying a criminal case. We're trying an impeachment case. Although there is a penalty, the only penalty is not loss of freedom or infliction of an economic burden, but the removal of the respondent from his position and his disqualification.
Whatever his position is, how he conducts the trial is widely seen to affect his legacy. Enrile was once known as a protege of Ferdinand Marcos, the most unpopular president in Philippine history. Then he was briefly jailed for allegedly hatching a coup against Cory Aquino, and later tagged as a staunch ally of Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, the second most unpopular chief executive. Now, he is one of the most trusted and most approved top public officials. The rise in his numbers is credited to his role in the trial. While he says he has long stopped caring about popularity, Enrile welcomes the news. He admits there were times he was seen to be on the wrong side of history.
Tinatawag ako na bastardo, verdugo, diktador, martial law administration, murderer. Hindi ba kinasuhan ako? Rebellion complex with nothing. Oh. Kaya, basta kung ikaw ay nanunungkulan, maraming papansin sa'yo. No?
At the twilight of his life, Enrile is writing his own memoirs to include facts he says were omitted by historians. But more than the pages, his performance and verdict in what could well be his last historic role will ultimately determine his final place in history. Ayi Makaraig, Rappler.
How far can schools go to regulate Facebook? Well, 2 cases. On Friday, 6 high school students from a Marikina private school are barred from attending graduation ceremonies after a prank the management found damaging to the school's reputation. The male students of Infant Jesus Academy in Marikina posted their photos online kissing in public, except the students said the kisses were fake and that it was just a camera trick. The boys, aged 16 to 17, and their parents went to a national newspaper for help. The school justifies its action, saying the boys did not deserve to get their diplomas. The school claims the students are still graduating and promises to give a certificate that will allow them to enroll in college. This comes after St. Teresa's College in Cebu City banned the graduation of 2 girls whose bikini photos were posted on Facebook. The Cebu City Court issued a cease and desist order in response to a suit filed by the girls' parents, commanding St. Teresa's College to allow the students to graduate. On Thursday, the newest player in the Philippine airline industry launched its first domestic flight from its hub in Pampanga. AirAsia Group officials vowed to change the landscape of budget travel in the Philippines. This report from Rappler's business editor, Lala Rimando.
Since August 2011, this brand new Airbus plane of AirAsia Philippines has been sitting idle in Clark Airport. Group CEO Tony Fernandez says their patience is paying off. After almost 7 months, the maiden flight of AirAsia's local airline finally took off with almost 200 passengers bound for the paradise island of Boracay.
Hi everyone, I'm Tony Fernandez. On behalf of AirAsia Group, thank you for choosing us. We're going to bring many more flights, many more low flights. So start packing your bags every day. Thank you for flying with us. Now everyone can fly.
It has been a rocky ride for the newest kid on the block. When it started operating as a foreign airline in Clark, the Malaysia-based carrier had to deal with efforts to block it, mostly from local players and lobbyists who felt threatened by the entry of Southeast Asia's biggest budget airline. AirAsia couldn't sell tickets beyond 3 or 4 months because their permits were held back. And when they decided to add Philippines in their growing Asian route network, their operating permit took 7 months to process. But while these are factors beyond AirAsia's control, it promises to be competitive in what it could: low fares and connectivity. From Clark, it will fly to Philippine destinations and plans to add flights to China, Korea, and Japan, which are less than 4 hours away. These are same routes that Cebu Pacific, Philippine Airlines, Airphil Express, and Sea Air are already flying to or have plans to fly to. As competition heats up, Filipino passengers will have more choices and enjoy cheaper fares. Lala Rimando, Rappler.
Earth Hour is here. The lights go out from 8:30 to 9:30 on Saturday night in 3 cities in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Switch-off ceremonies led by Earth Hour co-founder Andy Ripley will happen in Makati, Cebu, and Davao. Ripley started Earth Hour in 2007 to create awareness for climate change. He is in the Philippines this weekend because there are apparently more local governments and Filipinos who participate each year. Earlier, he came by the Rappler office and told us how to take it beyond the symbolic gesture to change reality.
If it's successful, go beyond the hour. You know, whether or not you're a kid in a classroom or a CEO changing a company or a president or prime minister changing a country, everybody can change the world they live in. And I think that's really important. What we thought was a very naive dream at the beginning was, can you then create an interconnected global community that shares the opportunities and challenges that we all face around a more sustainable future? And I think the amazing
Former Palawan Governor Joel Reyes, charged with the murder of environmental activist Jerry Ortega, rejects calls for his surrender, insisting he is an innocent man. Reyes released an audio message after a lower court ordered his arrest this week for the January 2011 killing of Ortega. In a taped message, Reyes says, "I am hiding not to avoid justice, but to stop the accusations, charges, and persecution that have no basis." Speaking in the local dialect, Reyes says, "We will fight against this." Reyes, 59, still wields substantial political influence in Palawan. He is among 8 people ordered arrested for the murder of Ortega, a radio broadcaster who accused the former governor of corruption. Police say the handgun used in the Ortega killing was registered in the name of Reyes' aide. The ex-governor is accused of masterminding the killing. Reyes, whose wife is the current Palawan vice governor, alleges he was not given due process. The government is under pressure to act on Ortega's killing in the wake of criticisms from media and rights groups. The National Union of Journalists in the Philippines, or NUJP, today criticized the government for allowing a fugitive politician time to surrender instead of ordering his immediate arrest. Interior and Local Government Secretary Jesse Robredo was quoted as saying he is giving Reyes and his brother until the weekend to surrender. This angered NUJP, which accuses the government of abetting impunity. In a statement, the group says Robredo's order to grant Reyes and his brother a grace period is, quote, clearly illegal. How many stars can you fit in a photo? If you ask scientists, 1 billion. An image of the edge of our Milky Way galaxy was released by researchers in Great Britain after combining infrared images taken by the UK Infrared Telescope in Hawaii and the European Space Agency's Vista Telescope in Chile. What you see on screen is just a small part of the image showing stars being formed. The full image, the product of a 10-year project of scientists from 3 countries, is a 39,000 by 3,000 pixel photo and will be used by scientists for further studies. Well, that's Rappler's Wrap for this week, the 4th week of March. Visit Rappler.com and tell us how you feel on our mood meter. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.